This episode is brought to you by Squarespace.
This is the Fujifilm simulation that broke the internet. Reggie's Portra.
Well, here's a developing story. Reggie's Portra has completely taken the world by storm.
Now, late last year, I actually sold off my Fujifilm gear, and the only thing I really kept was an older Fujifilm X100V. I had been shooting with Fujifilm cameras since 2020, and honestly, I kind of wanted to switch things up, get a breath of fresh air, maybe try out something new. But I never really thought in a million years that I would come back to Fujifilm, not because of a new camera, not because of a new lens, but rather because of a Fujifilm simulation. And the crazy thing is, it's everything that I ever wanted it to be. Now, if you guys are interested in shooting with Reggie's Portra, I'm going to put the settings up here on the screen for you to screenshot, for you to input into your camera. But overall, folks, it's a very, very versatile Fuji simulation. And I think it's one of those simulations that you can kind of plug into your camera and use every single day. But this is probably the closest Fuji simulation that I've tried that actually kind of looks like film. And that's huge for me to say because I actually prefer to shoot on film over digital. And so for a Fuji simulation like this to really strike my interest and for me to actually want to use, honestly, it's unheard of. It gives off this really nice, warm kind of tone. And because of the white balance shift, you get a certain look that you don't really see out of other Fujifilm simulations. I feel like this one has a nice kind of balance between making sure that when you're shooting in direct sunlight, it feels beautiful, it feels warm. You get these really nice pastel colors. It's not oversaturated. It's not, extremely vibrant. It's kind of soft. And I think that's something that Portra film typically gives off. I also really love the way the shadows look. In certain scenarios, it can get nice and dark and deep, but also if you kind of adjust the exposure compensation, Reggie's Portra will be able to save your shadows and you get this beautiful glow in the highlights. I've been shooting with Reggie's Portra on this X-T5 now for about 2 to 3 months. And low key, when I'm not shooting film, I've been shooting with the X-T5 and Reggie's Portra for street photography, for portraits, or just, outings with my friends. And it's such a versatile film stock that I feel like you can use this for paid professional shoots as well. So not just recreational stuff, if you want to use this for your portraits, for wedding work, I think it's going to look really, really good straight out of the camera. But there's one thing about Reggie's Portra that I'm not too familiar with, and that is, how does it look when shot at night? Because this is the biggest challenge when it comes to Fujifilm simulations. They typically look beautiful during the day, and then a lot of them seem to struggle at night. So here's my plan. I'm going to pack up my bags, head over to the city, and try Reggie's Portra at night. And you guys are going to get a first-hand look at what I think of this Fuji simulation. Speaking of struggles, one thing you shouldn't be struggling with online is having your own professional website. And this leads us over into the sponsor for today's episode, which are the good folks over at Squarespace. Squarespace is your all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. Now, if one of your goals is to work with brands, with high-profile clients, you need your own professional website to represent yourself. And in my opinion, the best way to start a photography website is through Squarespace. With cutting-edge design tools like Blueprint AI, you essentially take away the guessing game and have AI technology craft you your perfect website by simply answering a few questions. And when it comes to representing yourself as an artist, there is nothing more important than curating your work. And with options for a portfolio or an art gallery, you can display your finest work with state-of-the-art designs. And by far my favorite feature of Squarespace is the e-commerce shops that it has built in that allows you to sell all of your different zines, books, prints, all in one place, incorporating different tools like shipping, various accepted payment methods, and more. So to get started with your own professional website today, head over to squarespace.com/kingjapes and enter promo code kingjapes at checkout, and you guys can get 10% off of your first purchase of a domain or a website. Huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this episode. All right, so we are on the rooftop. We made it to San Francisco, and man, look at this gorgeous view behind me. I'm gonna show you guys really quick here. Look at that San Francisco skyline in the background. Nothing beats San Francisco when the fog is barely just getting over that little hill there. I'm juiced, man. I'm excited, and fingers crossed, Reggie's Portra looks really good at night, and we can come away with some amazing scenes here in San Francisco. So I'm gonna hit the streets, you guys, set the camera up, and let's get shooting. All right, so here's the first composition that I'm looking at. A couple of things that I'm noticing. As the cars and people walk by, there's reflections in these mirrors right here, or I should say windows. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go for a slower shutter speed. And the slower shutter speed is just gonna allow me to capture a little bit of that light. Now look at how Reggie's Portra is responding to it. It looks pretty much true to the colors that you see in real life, which is very interesting because I think a lot of Fujifilm simulations tend to have like a color tint attached to it. But this one, even though there is somewhat of like a, I guess you could say sort of like a white balance shift, it does tend to actually look really, really good, which I personally love. Okay, so I started shooting with the 23 f2, which is like a 35mm equivalent. I have then put on the 56, try to get some more layering, compositions and whatnot. And I'm gonna keep on working the street. See something in front of me that's pretty interesting. Could be a good photo here. Check this out. All right, so here's what I love about Reggie's Portra at nighttime. Something I'm noticing is these lights, these headlights, I should say, they turn this really nice, soft, kind of almost teal light color. And I think the way this is designed is make your blues softer during the daytime, but at nighttime, it kind of gives you this almost cine-like effect. It's almost like shooting cine still. You have this like cyan undertone to it. I think you really have to slightly underexpose the images by like a 0.3 stop underexposure just to get a very deep color. The colors are still really soft at night and not as contrasty. And I think that's a characteristic from Reggie's Portra that actually really, really is interesting because it's very, very similar to what film looks like. Don't be answers. Yo!
What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's up, dude?
That's Lego owls background.
Where are you right now?
We're at the Legoland Hotel because I'm doing like a talk or like a speech in Chula Vista, so like San Diego. There's like a Filipino American creator convention thing.
All right, so I wanted to hop on this call. I know it's like super random, but I'm actually doing a video on your Portra simulation.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry to surprise you and everything, but
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I wanted to ask you a few questions about it.
For sure, yeah.
All right. First and foremost, why did you create Reggie's Portra?
So before I made the recipe, I was shooting weddings for like 10 years. So I shot raw all the time, and I would always edit everything in Lightroom. And I was just kind of like tired of editing photos, and plus my audience was like, oh, you should try film simulation recipes. I never tried it before. So that was kind of the reason why I started it. But it wasn't until I actually started shooting film with my Fujifilm Class AW that I realized like editing film scans and like trying out film scans, that they didn't really need the full flexibility of a RAW file. So I started diving into the world of film simulation recipes and stuff like that.
What were some things that you wanted in your Portra recipe? Like any characteristics, anything specific?
Yeah. So it started off as wanting to be inspired by Kodak Portra. So I did like the Kodak Portra 400 recipe from Fuji X Weekly, but I realized like quickly that it like just didn't work out for what I needed, because there's like three things that I wanted it to be. Was to be white balance agnostic. That's mainly because I wanted something that wasn't just daylight, because I wanted it to be more versatile than like a daylight balanced film. And then what I noticed too was using auto white balance, just the way that the Fujifilm recipes and the simulations were, it didn't, like at least classic chrome, didn't really make like Filipino skin tones, like melanated skin tones look that good. So I needed to figure out a way to like make it a little bit more flattering for darker skin tones and melanated skin tones, and that's something else that I needed it to do. I wanted it also to be able to like, if I overexpose it a little bit, it could be a little bit more pastel. And then if you underexpose it, it's going to be more saturated. So that was like the other thing. And I think the final thing was I didn't want clarity to be like anything other than 0, because it had this like slight delay.
Do you realize that your Portra recipe is probably the most known recipe in all of Fujifilm simulations?
Yeah, I did. That's the one thing that's kind of funny, because I kind of did it kind of like tongue in cheek, like fine, I'm gonna try, because everyone asked me like, oh, what's your favorite film simulation? So I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
I did not expect it to be this popular, but I think it does kind of like, it also doesn't surprise me, because like I have this whole background of like wedding photography and like really color balancing skin tones and having that expertise. So part of what went into making the recipe was I was very rigorous in testing it. So I tested it low light conditions, like high dynamic range, low dynamic range, indoors, outdoors with flash, and I just kept dialing in. And I would always ask my wife like, "Hey, does our kids like look like? Is that how they look like to you?" So I even worked with her to like use a secondary set of eyes to like see, and it took like a 3 or 4 month period of time, me like adjusting the settings. So it wasn't just like, this is what I want. Like I kept iterating it after I went to like Disneyland, inside, all this stuff, like a lot of lighting conditions to be able to make it robust to the point where when anyone else will try it, as long as they can bring the skills for like lighting and composition, it's going to come out pretty good. And it was kind of like by accident, because I made it for myself, but it was really a gift to everyone else who needed something like that wasn't available within the film recipe community before this recipe.